Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a personal finance book written by Robert Kiyosaki and published in 1997. The book quickly achieved tremendous popularity and propelled Kiyosaki into the spotlight. In one of his publications, he makes reference to the difference between rich and being wealthy. He then makes the startling claim that while the wealthy don't care about money, the rich have a lot of money. And I thought that this was quite intriguing because I've always believed that being affluent and being rich went hand in hand, and that if you're wealthy, you're definitely leading a very comfortable life. However, this isn't always the case. When I think of someone as wealthy, I often picture them as having a lot of money and being fairly ostentatious about it. They have expensive homes, nice cars, expensive clothes, and expensive dining establishments. Growing up, I dreamed of becoming wealthy and having a large house, posh neighborhood, a luxury automobile, designer clothes, front row seats at sporting events, and the freedom to travel wherever I pleased. To be quite honest, some of those ideas still appeal to me now. Heck, I once wanted to travel to Mars. For a while, I wondered why the wealthy don't care about money. I grew up in a family that was generally financially secure. We wouldn't describe ourselves as middle class, but neither were we impoverished. I can't say things have always been rosy. There have been months when money was a serious concern, and we weren't sure whether they would be able to pay for all of our tuition, bills, and expenses. Both of my parents work 9-to-5 jobs, and they work really hard to provide for me and my siblings. They've managed to pay for mine and my siblings' tuition while also making sure that we have food to eat and a roof over our heads. I read that the wealthy aren't concerned with money and thought to myself that must be a pretty nice thing to have because I saw my parents struggle and I never wanted to live a life like that. Who wouldn't want to live a life without ever worrying about money? I decided to conduct some research to try and understand the difference between being affluent and rich because I wanted to be both. You know, having a lot of money is good and all, but I think not ever having to worry about money is even better. This is what I discovered after doing some investigation, and I think it will shock you a lot. There is a distinction between being wealthy and being rich. A wealthy person has sustainable wealth, meaning they will always be prosperous. This is the fundamental distinction between a wealthy person and a rich person. A person who is simply wealthy, however, will only be wealthy while their money lasts. Many of you have probably heard tales of wealthy actors, celebrities, professional athletes, and others who once enjoyed opulent lifestyles with large homes, nice cars, pricey clothes, and international travel, but are now on the verge of financial ruin due to poor financial management and trying to maintain this kind of lifestyle for many years. You've probably heard of the lottery winner who went to bed one night in debt and woke up the next morning a millionaire, only to finish up back where they started or even worse off due to poor money management. So let's use John as an example. John is a surgeon who earns $310,000 per year. The majority of this income comes from his employment, with only 5% coming from some investments that a few of his co-workers persuaded him to make. According to all appearances and standards, John is a wealthy man. He has a large home, he resides in a reputable area, and he has 2 expensive cars, one for himself and the other for his wife. His kids attend reputable private schools, and he belongs to the neighborhood country club. John obviously has a lot of money available to him, so he uses it to ensure that he blends in and presents himself in a way that is appropriate for a respectable surgeon in society. John has expenses, just like everyone else. He has a mortgage to pay, transportation costs, food costs, health insurance, tax obligations, and a need to save money for his children's college. This year, he also needs to purchase another pricey anniversary gift. Did I mention the annual family vacation he takes? John is not left with much after deducting these costs from his yearly salary, taking out his savings, and making sporadic small investments. John has savings in his bank account of $43,500 and spends a total of roughly $21,500 per month. Since wealth is defined as the ability of an individual to maintain their standard of living for a considerable amount of time even after they quit working. In essence, this is money that can support your current way of life for many years on a regular basis. Accordingly, John should only be able to feed his family for 2 months if he loses his job today, along with all the advantages that come with it. He will then need to start looking for another job right away. John is not wealthy, he is rich. Let's now use a wealthy person as an example. Although the wealthy have a lot of money, according to Kiyosaki, the wealthy don't actually need to worry about money. Examining Bill Gates now, one of the richest people in the world, Bill Gates is also a business tycoon, investor, philanthropist, humanitarian, and author. Bill Gates has an enormous net worth of $97.4 billion as of the beginning of 2018. A rough estimate of Bill Gates' earnings every second put his earnings at roughly $130 or about $7,800 each minute. This means that even though John works a full year and makes more money than Bill does in an hour, he is still regarded as wealthy. Being wealthy essentially means having no debt. Because you have enough money in savings or passive income coming in from your assets and investments to sustain your current lifestyle for the rest of your life. You don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, and you don't necessarily need to work longer hours to earn more money. Bill Gates does not actively labor to earn the $130 he just made or the nearly $78,000 he will earn by the end of this video. He receives this passive income while playing golf and donating $4 billion to causes that he cares about each year. He earns it while sleeping. Sustainable wealth, or a wealthy individual who never runs out of money, is what wealth is. John will probably move into the middle class if he quits his job today. On the other hand, Bill Gates could live the same way for the next 213 years if he decided to retire today and live a sedentary lifestyle that involves eating, sleeping, and eating again. But you don't necessarily need to be rich like Bill Gates or run a significant company like Microsoft. You're considered wealthy as long as you have a steady stream of income you're not directly dependent upon, such as that even if you stopped working tomorrow, you could continue to support your existing way of life. A wealthy person is typically thought of as someone who can afford both their requirements and their wants. You're familiar with the $3,000 watch, $5,000 suit, and luxury imports, typically German-made vehicles, the large mansion on a beach, etc. Just because someone displays these rich behaviors doesn't guarantee that their personal finances are in order. Occasionally, same people you think are wealthy are actually scraping by or in debt to the point of insolvency. Many people who claim they want to be wealthy actually don't want financial security. Instead, they want the social status and prestige that comes with belonging to the millionaire club. So let me ask you this: do you want to be affluent or do you want to be rich? That's all for now. We hope you have enjoyed yourselves and learned something new. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Click on our previous videos and learn Crypto's 2023 bubble, or click on Do This to Become Rich 2022 to keep your knowledge growing. Bye!